If you want to be taken seriously in Hollywood, you gotta have a solid script. Hi, welcome to The Real Project. I'm your host, Dennis Reslin. Let's get into the show. In today's episode, I want to discuss with you the importance of having a good script. Now, what defines a good script is not how original the idea is, or whether the idea for the script is marketable or not. What generally makes a good script is that the dialogue is well written, the story is interesting and engaging, and typically you want to cut out anything that might be considered filler or unnecessary to the plot. Now, in the way of dialogue, a good example to go by would be Quentin Tarantino's lineup of films, along with the films of Kevin Smith that don't completely suck. Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, etc. These guys write punchy dialogue that sounds natural and come off like something that you'd see out of a normal conversation. They can have these little pauses here and there. They might move into another place of discussion, partway into a conversation, or just be over random crap that everyone talks about, so long as it finds its way back into the conversation pertaining to the main conflict of the plot. For story, all that matters is that the events aren't boring. You don't have to have something wild and nonsensical happening every 5 minutes, otherwise you'd make another Transformers movie. Oh Jack, don't leave me. You can never just make me whole without you. That was awkward. But you need to pull together drama that would be interesting and would, have people wanting to watch. If it's something that you'd eavesdrop on intentionally or non-intentionally, then it's probably good enough to have in the film. Just write something around it that might make sense to the plot, or just have a few scenes that links it in some way. So this idea is pretty self-explanatory. When you're cutting meat, you typically want to cut out the parts that you don't like to eat, so the rest of the meat is untainted. Same rule applies to film on a certain degree. If it has no place in the film and serves nothing, cut it out. If it contains no meaningful information about the characters and doesn't develop them in any way, shape, or form, take it out. Just get rid of anything that would bog down the experience of the film. Do this, and you will have a much, much more interesting movie on your hand. Do this, and you'll have a much more interesting movie on your hand. To conclude, if you follow these steps, then I think you're on your way to having a pretty good script. As I said before, it's not about marketability or originality. It's about it being good and watchable, and making sure that your audience is not going to get bored and they're going to have a good time. Or maybe a bad time. Maybe that's what the plot of the movie wants you to have. Just make it interesting. That's all. Well, that was your little film bite for today. The name is Dennis Reslin, and you're now a part of The Real Project. Peace.